Welcome viewers to Gateway Learning Center. Today we're going to look at Biology Paper 1, which came in 2020 for internals. This is the entire paper which consists of multiple choice. So we'll try to explain where it is due. We'll try to close so that we do as many questions as we can within the shortest period of time. So the first question is talking about the characteristics of living organism. So a living organism absorbs glucose, releases energy in its cells, and then passes out carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. Which characteristics of living things are described in the statement above? So we look at the statement. It's talking about the absorption of glucose, the releasing of energy, at the same time the passing out of carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. So since it's talking about the passing out of carbon dioxide, we know that it is consisting of excretion. Now, before we even look at the multiple choice, we look at the characteristics given. We have excretion, we have growth, we have nutrition, we have respiration, we also have irritability. Now the key aspect whenever doing multiple choice, you need to get rid of all the multiple choices or all the choices given which are not giving you any clue about the correct answer. So for example, in our first question, we know that in the statement there is no irritability, which is also called sensitivity. So this part is excluded. Now look at this part. Irritability or sensitivity is being marked, which means that yes, the characteristic is here. So these two are not giving us any form of correct or clue about the correct answer. So these two, we need to get rid of them because they are far away from the answer. Therefore, we remain with A and B. Now from A and B, since A and B has excretion, which is correct, what about growth? What about nutrition and respiration? So both they have respiration, yes. So the answer will come from growth and nutrition. Once you understand what means by growth and nutrition, then the answer will be correct. So from here now, we know that the absorption of something, talking about nutrition, so there is no growth here, but nutrition is there. Therefore, the only possible answer now we are remaining with is A. So A is our answer. So all these characteristics here, they are showing about excretion, talking about nutrition and respiration. Question 2. Three cell structures are listed below. We have cell wall, we have cytoplasm, we also have nucleus. Which structure are found in both palisade and liver cells? So we know that palisade here is talking about the plant cells. Then liver cells talking about the animal cells. Then we know that all the animal cells has no cell wall. So automatically the issue of cell wall is excluded. So the possibility of getting our answer is from 2, and 3. So we're talking about C. So C is our answer. Then question 3. The diagram below shows a piece of viscous tubing containing starch suspension held in a beaker of pure water. Saliva was added to the starch and the experiment was left for 2 hours. So these are 2 diagrams which we has been provided with. So what does this experiment show? So here we have saliva is a solvent for starch. Saliva is a solvent for starch. A solvent is a substance in which a solute dissolves. So if saliva is a solvent of starch, it means this starch can dissolve in a saliva. How true is that? Then B, saliva passes through the viscous tubing. Saliva passes through the viscous tubing. Then C, starch can be changed to sugar how starch can be changed to sugar. Then the last one, you have starch is soluble in pure water. So a soluble substance, it is a substance that is able to dissolve in water. So what can give us now the answer here is looking at the diagram and how the levels of the substances given are moving. So we have inside here in the side the visc in tubing, we have the starch suspension, we have pure water. Now remember that pure water is also called distilled water. According to the law of osmosis, we know that water is moving from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. So inside where the starch is, there is lower concentration of water, while outside here, there is higher concentration of water. So water should move from here and going into the visc tubing. Hence, when we look at this part, the visc tubing level from here up to here is different. So water has been diffused from higher concentration to lower concentration, hence the level has increased. But when we look at the label here, it's talking about sugar present. At the first, there was no sugar. So it means that since starch is also sugar, now this viscin tubing partially permeable, meaning that it allows some small sugar particles or starch particles to move from this into the water solution. Now, the movement of water into the viscin tube and the movement of starch into the water is different. Water is moving at a higher rate because there are smaller molecules than starch, which has higher molecules. As a result, this experiment was basing on this statement here. So it means that this starch suspension or starch solution is also soluble into water because it is moving out here. Hence, here it is present. So when look at the multiple choice, starch is soluble in pure water because once it came out, it was able to dissolve into water. So we go to question 4. So question 4, we are saying, which of the following is true about all enzymes? Now remember that whenever you're answering paper 1, which is multiple choice, first get rid of all the fake answers which are not giving you any clue or any idea about the true answer. So we know that enzymes are biological catalysts. Now enzymes are protein in nature. Then enzymes work well in a specific condition. For example, under a certain pH, under a certain temperature before it is denatured. So from here, they are sugar. Enzymes are not sugars. Enzymes are protein in nature. So these two where they are marked, C, D, they are false answers, automatically false answers. Enzymes are protein in nature. So we remain with A and B. Then effective at pH 7. Now, according to the pH scale, at 7 it is neutral. So enzymes can either work well in acidic condition or in alkalinity condition. So pH, if the pH is 7, hence the answer is wrong. So even this one, the answer is wrong. So since B is wrong, but it was qualified here, but because of pH, it has been disqualified. So the only answer we are looking at now, each enzyme catalyze one reaction. Yes, enzymes are specific. Enzymes are specific. So one enzyme, they are not sugar. This one is correct here at this statement. Then effective at pH 7. Are they effective? No, because enzyme can only work well in alkalinity or acidity. So the answer here is B, where it is saying enzyme, if its effectiveness cannot be at 7, only at acidic part or alkalinity part. So the answer was B. Question 5. So question 5 reads, chemical tests were carried out on a food sample in solution. The table below shows the results. So you have test burette, purple solution or purple color has been produced. So this was a test for protein. So protein was present. Then ethanol, white emulsion, then iodine, brown color. So iodine testing for starch. Then what did the food sample contain? So number one, protein was there because of the color, purple. Then starch was absent because brown color of iodine solution was maintained. So now, we look at the multiple choices. Fat, yes, white emulsion is there. So fat was present and protein was present. Starch was absent, so A has been disqualified. Starch was present, then fat was present, protein was present, starch was absent. This one is qualified. Then fat present, protein absent. No, it was present because of the color purple. Then from here, D, fat absent, protein present, starch present. So the only answer you have is B. We move to question 6. The table below shows the mass of some nutrients found in 100 grams of 4 different foods. So we have beans, we have bread, we have cheese, we have eggs. So which food would best prevent rickets and scurvy? So whenever we're talking about scurvy is as a result of lack of vitamin C. So any food that is lacking vitamin C, they contain scurvy. So when you look at the answer will only come from here and here. So this one, beans, it contains vitamin C. So these three, they don't contain vitamin C. So these, they can cause scurvy. But the question is saying which food would best prevent. So prevent, it means that we want food that contains such mineral or vitamin to prevent the same rickets or scurvy. So vitamin C, so beans, it contains scurvy, it can prevent scurvy. Then vitamin D should be present such that it prevent the rickets. The food that contains vitamin D, they contain also calcium. So we look at this, the figures here. Beans has no vitamin D, then bread has no vitamin D, cheese has 0.4 vitamin D, eggs has 1.5 vitamin D. So eggs can prevent rickets, then beans can prevent scurvy. So the answer should be bread and eggs. So when we come here, we have A, beans, bread, cheese, then cheese, eggs, then D, we have eggs and beans. So the answer was D. Question 7. Which of the following people need the most energy daily? So male, manual worker, then pregnant woman, daily, remember, daily, then 14-year-old teenager boy, then 8-year-old girl. So the answer is A, a manual worker. A manual worker. We move on. We move on to question 8. So question 8 reads, which mineral nutrient is required by plants for proper formation of roots? So you know that we're talking about the minerals. So minerals now, we'll only focus on, we know what magnesium is responsible, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So the answer here is C. Phosphorus is the best mineral which is needed for the formation of roots. Then potassium is mainly for the formation of flowers and fruits. So question 9. Question 9 reads, the diagram below shows an arrangement of apparatus for an experiment on photosynthesis left in sunlight for 5 hours. The leaf was then tested for starch. So we can look at the leaf. This is the leaf. Now it has a barrier here. Then here we have sodium hydroxide pellets, which is doing a certain purpose. Then sunlight is exposed. Then we take out this leaf, then we put it here. So after the experiment, what were the colors of the region X, Y, and Z? So this part is this part, meaning that X was exposed, hence it manufactured a lot of starch. Once we test it with iodine, it will change into blue-black. Then this part is this part. This part was covered. So it means that no sunlight was being here. As a result, no photosynthesis will also take place. Same applies on this part. So these two parts will give us negative answers. So X, blue black, and blue black. So C is excluded automatically. Y cannot be blue black. Then Z also cannot be blue black because there is no photosynthesis taking place here. So this part is correct on A, but this one is wrong on Y. Then B, yes, brown. Here, white. Then the last one, blue, black, which is X, is correct. Then here we have brown. Here we also have brown, which is correct. So the answer was D. Then the next question is talking about the dental formula of a certain carnivore is this. So we have what is the total number of teeth in the lower jaw of the carnivore? So we have 3 plus 1, we have 4 plus 2, we have 6 plus 1, we have 7 times 2, we have 14. The next question, the diagram below shows part of the alimentary canal. Which two structures produce substances involved in the digestion of the lipids? So here we have the stomach, we have the pancreas, we have the gallbladder, we have the liver, then we also have the sphincter muscles here. So now we know that the pancreas is responsible for the production of the enzymes that can digest or break down the lipids. Also, the liver do the same way under the process called diminution. Not diminution, emulsification. So from here now, the gallbladder only store bile. Bile, which talks about the emulsification of salt. It also contains salt, yes. So now, the only possible answer we have is 4 and 3, because here it's being produced. Here the liver is also produced, then it goes and stay inside the gallbladder. So this one is only responsible for storage. This one is responsible for the production. Then the stomach is something else. So we're talking about the 4 and 3. So from our multiple choice, which we have, we are saying which two structures? So it's 3 and 4. 3 and 4. So we have our answer as C. So we move on. The diagram below shows the structure of a gill. So this is a gill, it has a gill bite, it has a filament. Then the lacers are not being shown there. So what are the functions of the parts, both X and Y? So once you know one part, it means the other one also be correct. So this Y, the gilbers, their responsible part is about allowing the gaseous exchange. So Y will be for the gaseous exchange, yes. Then this part are responsible to remove the solid particles. So the answer is D. So which substances are produced in muscles by aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration? So remember, aerobic is the type of respiration which takes place when there is presence of oxygen, while anaerobic respiration takes place when there is absence of oxygen. Then this one produces a lot amount of energy compared to this one. So anaerobic respiration is the one that is also responsible for the production of lactic acid in the muscles, while this one, which is aerobic, it is responsible for the production of carbon dioxide and water as their only waste product. So which two substances are produced in muscles by aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration? So under anaerobic respiration, we have lactic acid, while under aerobic respiration, we have what you call the carbon dioxide. So that is the answer. So below is a list of signs of symptoms and symptoms of a disease. So I'm trying to be fast. We have severe diarrhea, then we have dehydration, we have abnormal pain, we have nausea, we also have vomiting. So all these signs are signs for cholera. So which disease is characterized by the above signs and symptoms? So we have bilharzia, we have cholera, we have malaria, we also have tuberculosis. So the answer is B, cholera. Okay, so if you want more explanations, more data, you can leave a comment in the section below. Then we get in touch. We see where we can help one another, where sciences, mathematics, English, and options like RE as well as civic education and commerce, we offer those subjects. So question 15, the diagram below, the diagram shows a cross section through the roots of a plant. So which tissue transport water and minerals to different parts of the plant? So remember, this one is on what you call the cell specialization. Now talking about the vesicular bundle, which consists of the xylem, the phloem, and the cambium. So here, the root stem, the stem part, the middle part is the xylem, then these on the outer part are the phloem. So xylem is the one which is responsible for the transportation of mineral salts and water once they come out from the roots by the process of absorption. So the one which is pointing on the middle, it is B. So the answer was B. Question 16. The diagram shows 3 types of blood cells. So blood cells, we have, of course, this, and this. So these are platelets, of course. These are platelets. You need to understand that platelets are not true cells, but they are fragments in the bone marrow, which comes from the cells. So which of these cells produces antibodies, engulf bacteria, and are involved in blood clotting? So blood clotting, we talk of platelets, then engulfing, talking about the phagocytes and the lymphocytes, which produces the antibodies and antitoxins. So this one, which has a robbed nucleus, is the phagocytes. So engulf bacteria, then involved in blood clotting. So here, you need to understand that this part is involving in blood clotting. So automatically R will be here. So on the involvement in blood clotting, we'll pick R. So Q and P, it means A and C are excluded. We remain with A and D. So this one in engulfing, P in engulfing, so RPB. Then of course Q produce antibodies. So the answer is B. We move on. So the diagram shows a longitudinal section through a mammalian heart. So which labeled blood vessel carry deoxygenated blood? So now remember that deoxygenated blood is a type of blood that that comes from the body and goes to the heart. Then the first destination is the right ventricle, the right atrium. So the right atrium now is this part. Then from the right atrium, the blood will be pushed downward into the right ventricle. Then the right ventricle will push blood via this route, and then it goes to the lungs to get oxygen or to be oxygenated. So 3 and 4 are the parts that are responsible for the transportation of blood, which is deoxygenated. So 3 and 4. 3 and 4, the answer was D. We move on. Question 18, it's on excretion. The diagram shows part of the excretory system of a mammal. So now we have the kidney. A is the kidney. Before we look at the multiple choice, first identify. So we have the kidney, you have ureter, we have the bladder, then you have the urethra. Don't confuse ureter and urethra. So A, it's a kidney. So we come here. So AB, which are pointed bladder, are excluded. So CD, kidney. Then 3 is a bladder. So 3 bladder. So C is qualifying. Then 4 urethra. 4 urethra. Then 2 ureter. So the answer was C. 19. Where is the hormone insulin produced and what is its site of action? So hormone, which is insulin, is produced from the pancreas. Remember, hormone insulin and glucagon are produced where blood sugar levels should be controlled. So adrenal gland, they don't produce insulin, so they are excluded. So C, pancreas, then site of action, liver. Yes, so the answer is C. A conditioned reflex differs from a spinal reflex because the conditioned reflex is faster. D. C has been modified by the past experience. When something has been conditioned, means that it has been trained. Then does not involve the brain, does not involve the nerves. So the answer I'll go with is C, has been modified by a past experience. When something has been conditioned, means that it has been trained, hence that condition is there. The brain, the diagram below shows a section of the human brain. Which of the following, which of the labeled parts is responsible for the memory? So we go with B. We'll go with B. So which part of the ear transmits vibration from the outer, so from the multiple choice which has been given, you have the cochlea, you have Otischian tube, you also have the oscus and the pinna. So the pinna is the outer part of the ear. So the answer is D, the pinna, which collects the sound from the outer part and then take it into the inside part of the ear. So 23, we are saying the diagram below shows the muscle and the bone of the upper arm. So from here, we are saying that we have this bone inside, we have this muscle, we also have this part. So we have also the shoulder blade. So this muscle from this bone is what you call the humerus. Then we have the bicep, you have also the tricep. So which of the following correctly identifies bones P, Q, and R? So in this type of questions, once you know two parts, then the other part won't give you a problem. So from what you have been given, we are saying that P, which is a bone, is humerus. So since P is humerus, then radius, and ulna, these are false answers. Then R is the bicep. Of course, Q will give us a radius. So the answer is A. 24. In an experiment was carried out to investigate growth response in a maize seedling as shown in the diagram below. So we look at this, the first part at the beginning, the light is coming in all the parts. Then as it is going after 5 years, it's still going straight. So this type of response now is what we are looking at. So what type of this response? So the question now is saying, what type of response was being investigated above? When look at the multiple choices which we have here. So negative geotropism, we have negative phototropism, we have also positive geotropism and positive phototropism. So remember that photo means light. Then the part was moving in the direction of light. So if it is moving in the direction of light, it means that the answer should give us a positive phototropism. So the answer was D. 25. The diagram below shows differentiated cells. So it's about the cell division and growth. So when look at the diagram, we have A inside in the smaller cells. Then B, you have these bigger cells. Then you have D, again smaller cells but bigger than A. Then you have C, the outer part. So which of these cells, A, B, C, and D, above, which of the following A, B, C, and D above are the parenchyma cells? So we have parenchyma, we also have chorenchyma, we have the xylem or the phloem, we also have what you call the cambium. Those are specialized cells. So under the cell division, we have, as the cells or a plant grown, we have three types of, or three parts of growth. We have cell elongation, we have cell division, and cell specialization. So a cell specialization is a place or a stage where the cell now is specialized and is adapted to do a specific function. So at this point now, when you look at the diagram, you find that A is excluded because at that point the cell is still growing. Then D is also excluded, the cell is still growing. So we remain with B and D. So the only possible answer which we have now is C. So the answer was C there. Then 26, the diagram shows two germinating seeds. We have this part, we also have this part. So what type of germination is illustrated in P and Q? So we have hypogeo type of germination and epigeo type of germination. So our answer, without wasting much of the time, is D. So Q is hypogeo, where a cotyledon remains under the ground, while P is hypogeo, not D. Hypogeo, no. The answer is C, epigeo and hypogeo. So epigeo, where the cotyledon is remained under the ground due to the elongation of epicot, while P is talking about the hypogeo, where the cotyledon is pushed above the ground due to the elongation of the epicot. Question 27. So which of the following asexual method of reproduction is used in the propagating sweet potatoes? So sweet potatoes, these are runners whereby you can cut and then you can plant it at the next part. So the answer there is C, which is the stem tubers. No, the answer is B, the root tubers. So we move on to 28. 28, okay. After a plant has been produced, flowers, which of the following is the correct sequence of events that follows? After a plant has produced flowers, which of the following is the correct sequence of events that follows? So this is about fertilization in flowering plant. So what first starts would be pollination, then fertilization, then the seed formation. We cannot fertilize, then we pollinate. We cannot form seed, then we fertilize, then we pollinate. So the answer is B. Which of the following is an important reason for seed dispersal? Seed dispersal. Okay, it causes the development of a fruit. It makes seed more fertile. It prevents asexual reproduction. It reduces competition between seedlings. Okay, so seed dispersal, the moving of seed from the region where they are located to the other region. So seed dispersal, remember that we're talking about seeds, talking about the seeds. So the one possible answer, or let's eliminate the false answers. So it makes seed more fertile. So that one is false automatically. Then C, it prevents asexual reproduction. That one is also false. So the answer is D. So the answer is D. So question 30, which of the following causes infertility result from having multiple sexual partners? Which of the following causes infertility result from having multiple sexual partners? So we have blocked oviduct, fibroids, we have ovulation disorder, sexual transmitted infection. This can cause infertility. Then 30, we have 31. The diagram below shows the development of fetus in the uterus. Where does fetal blood become oxygenated? Where does fetal blood become oxygenated? So we look at the question now. We have this part. We have this C, which is the arm, I guess. Then you have B, which is connecting the child to the mother. We have A, we have also D. So now looking at where the blood becomes oxygenated. So this one is just a tube that transports. Blood cannot be oxygenated within this part, but need to be oxygenated somewhere else. Then after it has been oxygenated, then it comes and moves here and goes into the child. So the answer is D. The gaseous exchange takes place in the placenta here, then it moves here in the tube or the cord. Okay, we proceed. So which of the following result from meiosis? Meiosis deals with the sexual parts, the sexual gametes, so production of the gametes. Then mitosis talks about the growth of a living organism by multiplying the number of cells. Then this one, meiosis, instead of multiplying the number of cells for the growth, then it's opposite. The genotype of a human albino is recessive. So genotype is recessive. Two normal parents have an albino child. What is the percentage of their next child also being an albino? So for them who were two, it means they had that albinism in them, but they are normal. So their possibility of having their child with albinism should be 25% at all costs. Then the diagram 35, the diagram shows organisms which belongs to the phylum Arthropod. So we have this part, we have this thing, we have this thing. So of course, when we look at these structures, we need to understand that this one is coming from the insecta under classification. So then this one will come either from the arachids or the crustacean. So now, what classes do these organisms belong to? So number one, X is belonging to the insecta. So X insecta, So from there we have this part. We have this part for X giving us a guide. There's no other X here. So we move. Now Z is the crustacean. Yes, Z belongs to crustacean. Then of course aracanite, that is for Y. So the answer was D. Which of the following correctly classifies the cause of loss of soil fertility? What can cause soil fertility? So number one, we talk about deforestation. Deforestation can cause soil fertility. So now we have C is excluded because it has refused to say it. Yes, it is deforestation. Then from there, we'll talk about late burning. Late burning means the ashes, they also add fertility to soil. So we also have leaching and weeding. So which one is the correct answer for the loss of fertility? So the answer is so the answer is B. The answer is B. Okay, so the last part, the diagram below shows a food chain. So you have glass as a producer, then amount of energy has been transferred chemically from glass to the grasshopper. Then the grasshopper also use some of the energy is being transferred from the grasshopper into the blue teat. Then the blue teat also uses some of the energy it obtained from the grasshopper. Then from the grasshopper, then the blue teat also uses some energy from the grasshopper. Then other energy in small amount has been given to cobra. So at which point labeled P, Q, and R is energy lost? So here energy was lost, here energy was lost, even here energy was lost. So the answer there now becomes D. P, Q, and R. At all the points, energy was able to be taken away. Which of the following factor increases the size of population? So the size of population can be increased by urbanization. You make urban or rural settlements become urban like towns. Then people will move out from rural areas or villages and come into town. That is urbanization. So the diagram below shows part of the water cycle. So part of the water cycle, when we look at the diagram, we have water vapor in the atmosphere, rain comes back, comes down, water in sea lakes, then there is evaporation, water going back, then there is also transpiration, then water going back. There's also respiration, water going back into the atmosphere. So which of the following retains most water into the atmosphere? So transpiration is only coming from the plants in form of water vapor. Then water in sea and lakes. Remember that the larger the surface area under diffusion or evaporation, the more water will be lost. No wonder we cover the pots whenever we are boiling water to prevent that. So which of the following retains most water into the atmosphere? Evaporation from the sea and lakes, respiration from animals, respiration from plants, transpiration. So we'll go with evaporation because under evaporation, we're talking about the sea and lakes, which are at the wider base. So they lose or they evaporate a lot of amount of water compared to transpiration in plants, also respiration in animals. Then which of the following can lead to global warming? Global warming can be caused, one, by deforestation. This is the reason why the government now is giving the mandate for those who deal with business of charcoal to stop cutting down trees to avoid deforestation, at the same time global warming. Then burning of fuels, yes. Burning of fuels, yes. No wonder the world is now moving from crude oil to EV, electrical vehicles, to avoid or to prevent what we call global warming. So yes, deforestation can cause. Burning of fossil fuels, yes, can cause. So the answer is A. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, you want more information, you can connect us or you can contact us by sharing your comment with your number, then we can call you. This has been your tutor, Chandanathan. Thank you for watching.